hit, wasn't shot down.
What's going on? Wasn't shot down?
Nope. Hit a separatist. Drones paid a visit to Putin's palace. Instead of a festive fireworks display, a massive fire. Russia is burning from Gelendzhik to Samara. A swarm of drones is turning Putin's empire into a complete wasteland. Russia's oil pump has shrunk by 21%. Strikes are crippling the Kremlin's fuel system every day. Hellish footage is flooding the internet. Ukrainian intelligence destroyed the occupiers' air defense in Crimea. I'll tell you all the details in a moment. Hello, this is Ukraine Today. I am Victoria Panchenko, and recent events. Unknown benevolent drones are once again getting on the nerves of the entire Kremlin. Moreover, they say the Iron Birds came to visit Putin himself. After the drone attack near Vladimir Vladimirovich's palace in Gelendzhik, a forest fire broke out. Its area reached 3.2 hectares. The operational headquarters of Krasnodar Krai stated that after the debris of one drone fell in the forest, 3 separate fire outbreaks started at once. An emergency ministry helicopter was dispatched to the scene, but its operation was hindered by the wind. The village of Krynica is located about 30 kilometers in a straight line from the center of Gelendzhik. Between Gelendzhik and Krynica, about 10 kilometers east of the village, is Vladimir Putin's palace. By the way, the complex is situated on a plot of almost 68 hectares and includes a main building of about 17,700 square meters, a restaurant, a helipad, an amphitheater, an ice palace, a church, a guest house, and even a gas station. Inside, there is a swimming pool, an aqua disco, a spa area, a sauna, a hammam, a music lounge, a home theater, a wine cellar, a casino, and numerous guest bedrooms. Notably, mornings in Russia don't start with coffee. After a night attack, there was a fire burning in the city of Orel out on the marshes. According to local residents, about 15 explosions were heard in Orel. As a result of the attack, smoke rose and a fire broke out in one of the city's districts. Russians recorded many videos in which the sound of explosions can be heard and smoke is visible. By the way, this is not the first time Orel has come under attack. In January 2024, the local oil depot came under attack. This was an operation by the main intelligence directorate of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine. Moreover, infrastructure at the key railway station Tver in Russia has been destroyed. According to sources in the main intelligence directorate, the attack on the station took place at around 5 in the morning on August 28th. Explosives were planted under the fuel tanks and then detonated remotely. As a result of the explosion, the fire spread throughout the entire railway station. By the way, the day before, SBS commander Robert Magyar-Brovdi also confirmed precise strikes on Russian oil refineries. A fiery show took place at the Fipsky and Kubyshev oil refineries. Drones are coming. You're just a little bit pixelated, aren't you? Notably, the fire at the oil refinery in Samara continued into the next day after the nighttime drone attack. By the way, the governor of the Samara region, commenting on the drone attack, stated that the fire was extinguished in the shortest possible time without specifying where or what had caught fire. However, judging by eyewitness footage, there are 2 sources of fire visible in the area of the Kubyshev oil refinery. Here's a video of what, according to the so-called governor, has already been extinguished. See for yourself.
burning over there too.
Overall, in just 2 short weeks of August, the occupiers' oil refinery output experienced a significant drop of 21%. And then, just last night, fuel production within the Russian Federation further decreased by another 4.7%, adding to the ongoing challenges faced by their energy sector. By the way, in August alone, Ukraine attacked about a dozen such oil refineries. Notably, this past summer, wholesale gasoline prices across Russia have reached unprecedented record highs, and in several regions there is currently a severe and critical fuel shortage. This is truly a real fuel collapse in the swamps. Russians are storming gas stations. There's panic in the streets. Gas stations are paralyzed. Ukrainian drones are finishing off Russia's oil system. The gasoline hysteria is gaining momentum. These scenes are blowing up the internet.
Ukrainian drones have created real chaos in Russian oil refining. Drone attacks have forced Russia to say goodbye to more than 13% of its refinery capacity. On August 2nd, drones struck the Novokuybishevsk refinery owned by Rosneft. This giant, which processes more than 8 million tons of oil annually, simply came to a standstill. 9 days later, on August 11th, the Saratov refinery, which also belongs to Rosneft and processes more than 5 million tons per year, was shut down. And on August 15th came the real climax. The Volgograd refinery, the largest in southern Russia, and the Samara refinery, which processes 8 million tons annually, also fell victim to drone attacks. As a result, over the course of 3 weeks, Russia lost 44.3 million tons of annual capacity. That's 13.5% of their total figure. What consequences of this are already being felt in Russia? We've gathered information about this for you in our report.
Every voice matters. Join our community, support independent journalism, and help us bring you the truth from Ukraine. Become a member of Ukraine today. Join us now.
In Primorsky Krai, there are kilometer-long lines at gas stations due to a fuel shortage.
This is the line on Melnichnaya.
In short, this is the situation at Alliance. Well, the line is probably already 100 kilometers long. Everyone here is waiting for some gasoline.
Currently, there are gasoline problems in many regions of the Russian Federation. Earlier, in annexed Crimea, there were problems with gasoline at gas stations due to the special military operation, and in Zabaikalsky Krai, gasoline began to be sold with ration cards. The main reasons are inflation, high demand, and constant strikes on oil refineries. The last factor is becoming very significant. Ukrainian drones attack Russian oil refineries almost every night.
This is a strike on the Lukoil oil refinery in the Volgograd region, which is among the top 10 in Russia and is one of the largest producers of petroleum products in the southern federal district. Over the past week, Ukrainian UAVs have struck oil refineries 3 times already. The plant has ceased operations approximately until mid-September.
We are now seeing reports almost every day that major significant oil refineries in the European part are being affected. The latest is the Lukoil plant in Volgograd, and drones are even reaching as far as the Ukhta plant in Komi, another Lukoil facility. And some plants have simply shut down.
On August 2nd, after drone strikes, the Novokuybishevsk oil refinery halted its operations. On August 11th, the Saratov oil refinery stopped receiving raw materials. On August 15th, it became known that the Volgograd oil refinery had stopped, and on the same day, after a drone attack, the refinery in Samara also ceased accepting oil for processing.
Drone attacks on Russian oil refineries, which intensified in August and led to the shutdown of at least 4 major refineries, have deprived the economy of 1/7 of its most powerful oil processing capacity. Thus, in just under 3 weeks, oil producers lost 44.3 million tons of annual refinery capacity. That's minus 13.5% of the country's total, which amounts to 328 million tons per year.
According to Reuters, repairs at some plants will take at least a month, and the Samara refinery will be idle until the end of August. Difficulties with repairs are related to sanctions.
Western equipment for oil refineries was included in the European sanctions as part of the very first package, following the invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. And this is causing disruptions. As a result, in 2025, Russia once again faced a gasoline shortage. Exchange prices for AI-92 and AI-95 gasoline have soared since the beginning of the year by 40% and 50% respectively, setting new historical records: 71,097 rubles per ton and 81,337 rubles per ton.
If Ukraine continues to strike Russian oil refineries, the problems with prices and the availability of gasoline itself in Russia will only get worse. And the current lines for fuel in some regions of Russia will seem like nothing compared to the real trouble that could arise, for example, in just a month.
If the Ukrainians were to completely ignore President Biden's explicit request not to strike crucial oil terminals located on the Black Sea, such as those significant facilities in Novorossiysk, Tuapse, or even on the Baltic Sea, where Ust-Luga and Primorsk stand as the 2 primary and most vital terminals, and were to indeed commence attacking them, this action would undoubtedly have a profoundly serious and detrimental impact on Russia's overall ability to effectively export its oil resources.
Strikes on Russian oil refineries and the loss of their capacities, as well as the potential increase in attacks, are a serious trump card in possible negotiations between Zelensky and Putin.
Our defenders are giving the occupiers a hard time every day. The GUR fighters struck at Russian air defense positions in temporarily occupied Crimea. The intelligence officers report that they carried out the operation on the night of August 28th. As a result of the attack, a high-value target was hit, the Russian Triumph radar complex. Hellish footage for your attention. That's all the news for now. We look forward to your comments. Stay tuned for more updates and don't forget to like the video. Wishing you peaceful skies above.